So throughout the years, community members have contacted KSCS for custody issues. Those community members are often referred to different resources in the community, such as Skana Asundu. They're directed to seek legal counsel and legal representation for court, as we as an organization do not handle custody issues with clients. There are times when community members do expect youth protection intervention as a means to gain custody of their children. However, the Youth Protection Act is to protect children whose security and development are compromised and not for custody issues. So when parents use social services or youth protection as a weapon in custody disputes and interpersonal conflicts, there's significant harm that can be caused to the children, specifically lasting emotional, interpersonal relationship sort of issues down the line. Children experience heightened anxiety, fears, of people and noises and situations, things like that. They feel a sense of loyalty toward parents, which can, often cause them harm and distress and emotional dysregulation. It can also cause harm toward one or both parents, right? And feeling like they need to kind of have that loyalty toward one parent or another. It is important to distinguish misuse of the youth protection system from legitimate reports. So youth protection must be contacted when there are real concerns for neglect, abuse. The harm of misusing the system and weaponizing the system can cause a lot of emotional distress for children. It's important to use it when there's legitimate concerns. Article 38C.1 is a subparagraph of the Youth Protection Act of Quebec. Essentially, 38C1 or C.1 is exposure to domestic violence. This article of the Youth Protection Act emphasizes that child witnessing or being exposed to domestic violence is a serious reason for intervention. Quoting from the Youth Protection Act, Article 38C1 reads, "Exposure to domestic violence refers to a situation in which a child is directly or indirectly exposed to violence between the child's parents, between one of his parents and a person with whom the parent has an intimate relationship, including in a post-separation context. Among other things, if the child witnesses such violence or develops in an atmosphere of fear or tension, and where such exposure could cause harm to the child." So children who are placed in the middle of adult disputes, especially during separation or high conflict co-parenting, are often exposed to well-documented emotional, behavioral, and physical signs. These signs can appear subtly, but can increase over time, depending on the level of exposure and things of that nature. Some signs could be anxiety and worry, guilt and self-blame, sadness and depression, emotional dysregulation. They show signs of behavioral concerns, including parentification, loyalty conflicts, changes in their social behavior, regression, things like that. There are also maybe a decline in their academic performance. So some of the practices that parents who are in a co-parenting situation can use is to avoid exposure to any ongoing arguments or conflicts that they may be having. This could be to use co-parenting apps, which would be helpful and less, there'd be less communication among the parents, but the message would still be able to get across. Avoid using the child as the messenger, the spy, or the go-between. Seeking mediation is also a positive tool that can be used. It encourages positive, healthy co-parenting. It encourages child-centered decisions. And it avoids putting children in the middle.